Welcome back to Watching Film. Now we're going to take a look at the Navy defense. I kind of open here with the play that I think is emblematic of how they play defense and what they're trying to do. So this is against Memphis, kind of later in the third quarter. Right here, Memphis has a numbers advantage. So get a block here, get a block here. Here's number 3. Here's number 3. I've got, if I get 2 good blocks here, I'll probably have an edge, and I'm probably going to win a race with these guys because Navy's defense is smart and physical, but they're not the most athletic team out there. There are limitations, obviously, to their recruiting and the player pool they can go after. So I think it shows up more on the defensive side where they're not quite as athletic. But this is a good play, I think, to kind of symbolize how they play defense. So I'll let it run through and we'll talk about it real quick. But right at the start, you have the numbers advantage, or you're at least even. You get the blocks. This is good. It could be a really good play right here from Memphis. So throw the ball out there. The blocks both get defeated, and then look at the. So this is kind of why I say it's emblematic. Physical right here. Physical. He's coming up to engage. Physical. Smart. Look at him. He's going to go inside. He's going to be tracking outside. So kind of in the right spots. And then you close the net on the guy. And this guy, who ends up making the tackle, almost gets 2 for 1. He almost tackles a dude with another dude. So right here, tackles him almost with his own player, and both of them end up going to the ground. So I think this is kind of if you had to say, what's one play that kind of summarizes the kind of players they have at Navy on defense, I think this is it. Smart, physical, in the right spots, well coached. There's another thing I think probably would exemplify the Navy defense. If you could think of one other word, it's going to be pressure. They love to bring pressure, especially down the goal line here or inside the red zone, but they'll bring it everywhere. So I think their base is like they have usually 3 down and 1 standing up. I think they'll put the stand-up guy at the boundary a lot. So here's the field, right? The boundary's down here on the left hash of the boundaries to the left side. So here's I think your stand-up in the boundary. But they will bring pressure from all over. And in the red zone, they're not afraid to go just straight 0. And then they'll have the backer almost as a spy. And it's really, he ends up being a spy, but it's really since it's 0. So man. He's blitzing. He has the back man to man. When the back decides to pass block. So let's look real quick. Let's look at the scheme here. So you got going outside, and then he's going to come inside. You got kind of similar here. Right. So both of these guys inside. He comes in here. He's going outside. So on both sides, you're kind of trying to open that gate between the guard and tackle. That B gap right there is what you're trying to hit. They do a pretty good job on this side of picking it up. This side, not so much because he's got to slide over. The back does a pretty good job stepping up in here. But since the back has to be held in on protection because of the pressure, now here's your add-on player coming up free and still making the play for a loss of like 4 yards. So pressure, not afraid of pressure. Even with probably an athleticism disadvantage, bringing pressure. The very next play. So this is a 13-7 game, tight game, early in the second quarter, 13-7. The very next play, Memphis got a good shot to go in and score here. Pressure again. So Coach Strong talked about them moving and slanting a lot. So right here, everyone's kind of stepping to their right here. So we got a slant coming here. He's going to come and kind of peel off, and he'll come off the backside. So you notice here it's off a tight end. So he's lined up. Let's remove these real quick. So here's the tight end right here. He's lined up kind of between the tackle and tight end. This guy is. Between the tackle and tight end. He's obviously outside the tight end. So I'm going to cross the tackle's face. With kind of this difference, kind of him displaced a little bit because of the tight end, it's tough for him to kind of see that. Now, he's got to have his eyes up. This right tackle doesn't. Kind of maybe have to fan to that. But he's going to come with this guy that crosses his face, opening up the backside for number one here, who is a pretty good player and is in a lot. And now you cause a fumble. One other interesting thing to note that some teams are trying to do. First, I think he may have had a blitz, and when the back flares out, he peels with him so they don't give up that throw. But we've talked in the past about simulated pressures, and one of the things in that simulated pressure look, I don't know if this is kind of the scheme or what, is when I become engaged. So once this guy engages with me and I know he's blocking me, then I'll just drop back. So you're trying to basically rush a bunch of guys, and if you're blocked, you can almost drop back into pass coverage. So you'll end up with the unblocked guy is the only one that's really rushing. So right here, he kind of drops off. So I don't know if that was scheme, if this is like a true zone blitz and they're bringing a guy from the side so they drop him, or if this is part of that simulated pressure look. It could be either one. This could just be a zone blitz right here where he drops off, or it could be that simulated pressure to where once I get this guard to engage with me and I know he can't help anywhere else, now I'll drop back. And right there you got a forced fumble and a scoring opportunity killed. And it doesn't stop. This is against Tulsa early. Inside, outside, and then you're bringing more pressure. Forces him to step up, and they end up making the play on him. But just confusing the opposition, much like their offense does. They provide a lot of problems for teams schematically. So right here, you can kind of see what happens here. Back comes off the edge. They're kind of in a full slide, right? We've seen USF do this full slide. Everybody's stepping this way. He crosses his face right here. He crosses the tackle's face. The tackle comes to engage with him. The guard engages with him because he's coming into his area. Then the guard thinks the tackle has him, and he leaves. So let's see that. Right here, they've engaged. The guard thinks the tackle's overtaking him, which if it's a full slide, he should, because I'll just step in. That's my gap. So the guard leaves him. The tackle sees his rusher coming, and he leaves him, and they get him free just by kind of confusing the assignment. And if he didn't leave, this guy would have got there, but he did leave, so now this guy's applying the pressure. Quarterback does a decent job stepping up, but they're still able to get to him and disrupt the passing play. So, right, we talk about slanting and moving right here. Off the edge. So they try to run like a pop and go. But these guys are not, they're pretty stout and tough up front. They're not giving up a lot of yards rushing. All this movement, and then they're not small up front. They're not humongous, but these guys aren't slobs either. They can play a little bit. So all this kind of movement and then having some decent personnel up front, you're going to get guys free. Now, the Tulsa offensive line is pretty bad, but still, they're making them think a lot. So right here, more pressure. Again, walks up late. 3rd and 1. So this might be some type of, right? Here, you got a run game going on where he's going to, right, try to take these two outside there. These guys are coming inside, and now you have him coming off the edge. then the linebacker comes up and fills. The running back does a good job here, kind of keeping his legs churning. But you're kind of able to keep your linebacker free to come up and make this play with that movement. Here's another one. The quarterback here does a good job getting the ball out of his hands, but here's another free rusher right here. There. He's going to come in there. So I'm thinking the guard kind of gets out to here. The center's got to come to here because you got these threats out there. They're going towards. This is your tight end, so you got your tackle coming out here. And now this guy can loop around into the vacated hole because the center and guard are both get eaten up initially. So right here, there goes your guard. Your right guard's going out here with him. Your tackle's coming to him. This guard's coming out here. He's got a set for this guy off the edge because they've shown pressure off the edge. Center comes back to pick him up. Doesn't do a great job, but gets a piece of him. And now he's turned his shoulders. And there comes a free rusher. The quarterback does a good job getting the ball out of his hands, but it's tackled for a 5-yard gain when maybe there's something downfield. If he had more time, I could hit that. So again, pressure and the safety is low. Watch, the safety bails out. So they'll do some stuff in coverage too. But this is kind of a similar look to the last one, where I'm trying to eat up the safety, and he's trying to kind of come up and pick the spot behind there. So they end up kind of pulling them both. The guard comes, but now you leave this guy free because you have an edge rusher too. So it's kind of tough. Your center and guard here do a good job. They pick up these two. Your tackle's coming out to pick up this guy off the edge. Well, now you just left the defensive end with a free shot to the quarterback. At best for the offense, your running back's going to come up and try to make the block, but this is still kind of calamity happening at the feet of the quarterback. Makes a decent throw, but he throws it out of bounds. And he's forced to make the throw very quickly to where maybe if I have more time, my receiver can win down the field. But I got to make this throw quick. This has got to be kind of a fade ball. Again, pressure. Here's the corner. And watch how they set this up. He's going to rush outside. There's your tight end leaving. Rush outside, get the tackle to set. Come in here. Get them to set wide. And now I come back in. So right there, he's taking up the guard. Let's run this back, right? So he's going to loop in here, take up the guard. He's going to go wide, take the tackle. And he's going to kind of ride him, almost shadow him, and then get into this open area. And how many did they really rush here? With all that stuff, all these guys at line of scrimmage, how many did they end up rushing? Just 4. Just the normal 4. Then rally and make a tackle on 3rd down. So 3rd and long. Try to get some pressure, make them get the ball in their hands fast, rally and tackle 4th down. Get off the field. That's why they're so good at 3rd downs on defense. So here's something else they'll do. They like to play typically on the back end. They'll show 2 high safeties, but right now they got 2 high safeties. So there's a safety here. There's a safety here. You have your corner rolled up. This corner's off. I think just it's hard to see on the film we got. We don't have the all 22, so you can't see coverage, but it looks like they like to play 3 deep, possibly cover 3 with the safety in the middle of the field. But they'll show this too high, and now they're going to roll the corner down and blitz him, and he comes over the top and basically takes the corner's responsibility in the deep third. This safety, if he's not already in the middle, will kind of rotate there. You're already deep third here. And then up front, we'll slant. Bring the corner off the edge. You get a miscommunication here. The quarterback's ready to throw to the receiver. The receiver's not ready. And if he tries to fit one in here quick, you have the safety right here coming over the top if you try to fit one in here too quick. So he kind of has to throw it into the ground here off what was an outside zone play, but he saw the corner blitz and tried to get it out. Similar thing here. Safety, safety. Here's your corner. He's going to blitz. Safety's going to get over the top. You're going to get a rotation in the middle of the field. Come inside, try to get eyes inside, get this tackle to go to get a free rusher off the edge. And then you're going to get a little game here. So this is not a defense that's just going to stand pat. He's able to avoid the rush and kind of they're able to protect it. So if you are able to protect it, there are plays to be made. They're going to give you some short throws. The key is, are you going to be able to protect it, and are you going to be able to have these short throws be on first and second down to where a short throw can convert a third down, not where they're giving me up a short throw on 3rd and 10 for 7 yards and I don't convert. So here's another one. They'll sometimes do like this where it looks like kind of 2 high safeties. Then they'll roll him down, rotate him to the middle of the field, and play what appears to be cover 3 behind it. Could be some type of man under, but I don't think so. So they'll rotate the safety. And like I said, they like the 3 down with the 4 to the boundary. Here's the boundary 4. He's going to come. So they're still only rushing 4. But showing you different looks, showing you some window dressing. Here's the same thing, just caught late. They came out with this kind of 2 safety look, and this safety rolled down into here. The other one's rolling back to the middle of the field here. You can see him coming to the picture late, right here. So they'll do some stuff. They'll show different looks, and then you're thinking pressure, pressure, pressure. They're bringing pressure. Look right here. This is a high pressure look. Third and 8. They've shown the propensity to blitz on 3rd and long before. So now what do? Now they just drop everybody. Quarterback tries to run for it. Rally and tackle. Off the field on 3rd down. So where they win 3rd downs, really, and this is really kind of on both sides of the ball, you can win 3rd downs on 1st and 2nd down by getting yourself in 3rd and shorts. So if you can constantly get yourself in 3rd and shorts on offense and keep yourself out of 3rd and short on defense, those will be the teams that can convert 3rd downs, unless you're just crazy explosive. Like Oklahoma, Alabama, LSU, those kind of teams might be able to convert these 3rd and longs more regularly, kind of regardless, just because they have such explosive players, but it's still not a recipe for success. So right there, show pressure. Now we're going to drop 8. Maybe the quarterback thinks he's got a pressure look, tries to force something in there quickly, throws a pick. So they're always kind of keep you on your toes, always keep you guessing. And then this was an interesting thing. So right here, they show 2 high safeties. They have, this is Tulsa here has 3 receivers. He's the 3rd receiver. I think they're playing what we've referred to in the past as triangle. That's where it's kind of a quarters look. But since there's no number 2 here, I mean, you could count the back. But it's really to kind of keep, when people see open middle of the field, they like to run this guy down the middle of the field because he thinks he has open safeties. What they'll do is, in triangle, this guy's going to have eyes on number 3 back on the front side. So he's kind of watching him. So you think you can sneak him up the middle of the field. If he tries to get vertical, this guy's going to run underneath it and play that. So playing for that kind of down the middle of the field stuff, even like if he tries to run a post, he can run underneath it. So kind of giving the quarterback a funky look and a different look, thinking he's going to have middle of the field open when he's really got eyes on 3 here. So you can see him start to rotate. Those eyes on 3. And they try to cross his face, but he comes back and makes the play here. Typically, if you see any of that, you kind of lock that up here. But this could be, again, it's hard to see exactly because there is more, there is receiver out here as well. Kind of down off screen here. There's a receiver at the bottom here with a corner. But this could be triangle. So that's just another coverage to throw in there. Now, the Navy defense isn't infallible. They have given up some big plays this year. This is 12 formation, or not 12 formation, I'm sorry, 12 personnel, but tight end right here. So you got your tight end, and then your other tight end, or we'll just call him the H-back here, and they're just running, looks like pin pull, almost outside zone. So they pin him down. They have two receivers out here. So two receivers out there. So you get this look. So 12 personnel is something you may see USF. They got to it last week against BYU and had some success with it. Both those tight ends are playing well, so it's something you may see. But this is not, you'll see this is not like the most athletic team. 10 is their safety. He's struggling to get there. 11 can. He gets there. Back still makes it in the end zone. So if you can kind of deal with all their crazy looks up front, all the pressure looks, and kind of just do your rules, do your job, which we saw USF's offensive line do a great job of last week, there are plays to be made. But there will be limited opportunities with how Navy will hold the football on offense. Again, here they kind of bring a different look. They bring, pressure from this side. Tulsa doesn't pick it up perfectly, but they pick it up enough to where I'm able to kind of pop a run here. So they'll bring three from this side. If you can block it, or you can kind of get them out of their lanes real quick, because there is risk reward, right? If I miss on the blitz, then I don't have a lot of second level players. So you got to kind of make them pay if they miss. So you got to take advantage of these kind of opportunities. And then this is something that teams did against them in the red zone that had a lot of success. And if they're going to bring this pressure and play man coverage, well, you got to use kind of rub routes and pick routes to get yourself open. Here, you get a nice easy one. Right here, this is kind of Tulsa. Looks like they're running mesh, but from a 3x1. So you got him going there. The back's in the flat. But it functions as a pick play just because you're getting man coverage. Who's got the back out of the backfield? And then he walks in. Memphis does something similar out of the 3x1. Well, they'll roll the quarterback, run him. This is kind of like you'll see USF run this. That Y corner or snag. Corner out instead of flat. He's kind of speed out here. And if you're playing man, that's a lot of traffic for this guy to run through. The crew last week may have called a penalty here, but just a clean pick route. And there are opportunities, like I said, they're not the most athletic. There are opportunities for big passes if you can protect. Here you're going to get like a scissors combination. So right here, he's going to run the post. He's going to run the corner. Right, we talked about it. Yukon week. Looks like a pair of scissors. UCF ran something similar. They're in like a switch vertical, but I think this is more of a scissors look. Again, if you can protect it, you can put your athlete on one of their athletes, and I think USF will have the superior athletes. So just kind of an easy shot over the top. You see this. They started an empty here and motioned him in. This is like a tight end, but extra protection there. Really like just keeping the back in against his look. Navy shows pressure, kind of drops it off. But if you can protect, you'll have shots. But now, when you get a guy this open, you got to hit it. Last week, USF was not able to hit those open shots. They got them. If it's hard to see on TV, but up in the press box, they got these open shots. This week, they just have to hit them. And I think if Jordan McLeod is healthy, he'll play much better. He appeared to be kind of banged up last week, and they've kind of confirmed that through this week. But there are shots to be made. And then I think the other important thing is if they are going to give you the short throws, you've got to make some plays after the catch. So run after the catch will be important. So when you get your shots, you're not going to get a lot of shots, but when you get them, you got to take advantage. But when they're giving you these short throws, which I think they will for a lot of the game, I've got to catch the ball, break a tackle, make somebody miss, get some run after the catch yards. I think that's going to be key this week. Here's kind of another look at it. They got a run play on, but he's off. He just whips out there and throws it, and now makes somebody miss, and that turns into a big play right there. So there's like a little 12-yard pass. All right, so back to the top. So Navy's defense is going to present problems for anybody they play just because of the pressure they show, the kind of scheme differences they show, and really how hard they play and how smart they play. But this isn't, an unbelievable juggernaut of a defense personnel-wise. They're smart, they're tough, they're in the right spots, which is it can be difficult. But if you're able to kind of get one-on-one and win those matchups, you can have some success against them, I think. I think they can probably scheme. USF will be able to scheme into some run game stuff that'll work for them. But the key is going to be kind of handling all the movement and the pressure that Navy will give you. And just like their offense, it's tough to prepare for in 1 week, all that kind of movement. But we'll see Saturday if USF is up to the task.